Today I want to show you a small collection of samples I have to check the Heijer counters. They are radioactive samples, but they're not very dangerous. That's why I can keep them at home. It's not like, well, I handle them carelessly either. Some are old objects that contained radioactive elements and have been sitting there on the shelf, and you wouldn't even know it, right? I'm also going to take this opportunity to show you my new Heijer detector, the NERSI GC03. Actually, this device is 3-in-1 because it not only detects nuclear radiation, but it can also measure electric and magnetic fields. A while ago, I showed you this other model, which is the GC02, which is this one here. But of course, the GC03 is much improved. Today, we're going to run some tests with this modern detector. And I'm going to show you what happens if I bring it close to the microwave, for example, because every time I make a video like this, people ask me if these devices have radioactivity. I'm Caesar. I warmly welcome you to my space. Before I start taking things out of this Pandora's box I have here, I'm going to show you the detector's screen. And how does it simultaneously measure nuclear contamination? Here at the top, the large part, and then it has two more quadrants where it measures electric and magnetic fields. The electric one is measured in volts per meter and the magnetic one in microteslas. It's very portable. It's super lightweight. I'm surprised. It seems like it doesn't have anything inside, not even the battery. It's powered by a rechargeable battery and has a very delicate finish. Well, let's see what happens if I bring it close to the darn microwave while it's running. As you can see, there's no nuclear radiation. There's no nuclear radiation at all, which is the first scale, but there is electric and magnetic radiation. That's why both alarms have gone off, and you can see them in red on both scales. It's clear now, right? There's no nuclear radiation in the microwave. There's another type of radiation, which is electric and magnetic. I also want to show you this watch that belonged to my mother-in-law. Look what happens when we bring the detector close to it. It's practically nuclear radiation. That paint on the numbers and the hands is radium paint. It was widely used in the 50s and 60s, and they're very active. If we put the detector there, it immediately detects that there's radioactivity. Here you can also see this other instrument I have, which is an altimeter, but I usually use it as a barometer. It's from an airplane, which also has that same paint. Well, in my lead box, I also have another dial, which is the one I used to do the famous Becquerel experiment when he discovered radioactivity. I'll show it to you in a moment. Other objects that contained radioactive elements and that we can still find in our homes are vases and glasses like these, old glass ones. This type of glass was somewhat active, like fluorescent, with a green color, and they contained uranium inside. Interesting to drink water from that jug, right? Well, you would get a little radioactive from it. I don't have any jugs or glasses with uranium, but, well, some of you might have them at home. And if you're afraid, Cesarito accepts donations, okay? I'll add it to my samples right away. Well, there was a time, right, when radioactivity was all the rage, and they said it cured a lot of diseases. They even sold radioactive medicines and promoted hot springs with healing radioactive waters. Here I have the autographed and dedicated book from my friend Roberto Ferrari. It's very good and has a lot of historical information. If you like the topic, I recommend it to you. It's called Radioactiva Buenos Aires. I think it's on Mercado Libre. It was there some time ago. Another item that contains radioactive material and is currently sold in hardware stores is tungsten electrodes for TIG welding. These also contain thorium in their composition and can be very useful if you want to test a Geiger detector. All right, let's see. Let's open the famous and mysterious box. This box is made of lead, with walls about 5 millimeters thick. It weighs a lot. We open it and, well, here we have these envelopes. These are the lantern mantles. Do you remember the mantles from those lamps they used to call night suns? Well, these mantles, also called Welsbach mantles, had in their composition a radioactive material called thorium. The modern ones no longer have that element. Now they're made with iridium. Well, but we're going to put the Geiger counter on top here, and we'll see how the count starts to go up. You see how it quickly rises and reaches the alert zone, and it just started beeping. Because it exceeded the radiation limit, this limit can be programmed. The Geiger counter's pretty loud. Let's see what else there is. In this jar, there's a mineral with uranium. It's called autumnite. See how it also emits radiation. It should be clarified that these Geiger counters, the ones of this type, only measure beta and gamma radiation. They do not measure alpha, which is another type of ionizing particle. Alpha particles are larger and not very penetrating. For this type of alpha detection, other types of counters are required. This autumnite, this mineral, is also fluorescent under UV light. Look. What else is here? We have radium paint. This is the airplane dashboard gauge with which I did the Becquerel test back in the day. I did it with photographic paper. You can see it here. Look how powerful it is, how it exposed the entire photographic paper. And here, notice how the Geiger quickly reaches the maximum value. I also have this old wristwatch which, well, has little radiation, but there's something on the hands, the fluorescent paint. In this jar, I have several samples that can be handled because they are encapsulated in lead. Several are made of thorium. This other one, which has a clock hand here, is made of radium. And this other one is made of americium. Americium is a potential alpha emitter, but it also has some beta and gamma emission. So if we use the counter, it can detect it. This americium used to be in smoke detectors. Currently, this system is no longer used, but there are still many places with old detectors that have this radioactive material inside. Well, I hope you enjoyed the program about radioactivity. Please leave your comments. I'm very interested to know if you liked it. I'm passionate about nuclear energy and radioactive elements and all that. So, well, if you liked it, if it was useful to you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get notifications when I upload new content. You can also join, and in that case, I'll add you to a WhatsApp group with the other members. Prizes? Thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time, God willing,